So have good thought of people. Benefit from the ulama, benefit from the scholars, benefit from the mashayikh, benefit from the salihin. Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani, he was once on a journey with two of his friends that they studied together, Ibn Saqa and the other was Ibn Abi Asrun. And he studied with them because they were hardworking and they were intelligent. And then they came to an area where there was a great waliullah. And when they saw this waliullah, they said that, he said to them, encourage them, we must go visit this wali. We must go visit this pious person. The reason I'm narrating the story now is because we want to remedy ourselves. One of the great remedies I've mentioned previously, there's nothing that benefits the heart like the company of the pious. But the pious, in order for their company to benefit you, you need to hold a good opinion about them. Right? Our Shaykh said, even if you keep the company of a fasiq, right, but you don't know he's a fasiq, and your good thought tells you that he's from the friends of Allah, right? If he's not from the friends of Allah, Allah will grant you openings just because of the good thought that you had in that person. So Shaykh al-Qadir Jilani, he goes with his two friends, Ibn Saqa and Ibn Abi Aslam. And he says he's a pious person, we must go meet him. So after speaking to them over and over, they agree we're going to go. Like this story reminds me, some problematic persons within our community, when we go to the maqams of the Salihin, to Nur al-Mubin, to Guru, Shaykh Yusuf, they say, how do you even know they were? Like, who asked such a question in the first place? Why would you ask such a question? If everybody acknowledges them to be Salihin, holy, and people they have built up, how can the basis of your argument be ill thought? Don't you know ill thought is haram on the religion? Don't you know ill thought is haram? So the two strains of Shaykh al-Qadir Jilani, the one was known for, they're both intelligent. So the one said that the person who wanted to visit was the Ghawth of Islam, the Qutb, the Ghawth. So the one said, let's see, I'm going to present such a difficult question to the scholar. I'll go with to visit, but I'm going to present such a difficult question to him, he won't be able to answer. And then we're going to see what he says. And the other one says he's also going to ask a question and maybe the Shaykh has the answer for him, maybe the Shaykh doesn't. So the first person had ill thought in the Shaykh. The second person, he said, I'll ask a question. If he has the answer, alhamdulillah. If he doesn't, alhamdulillah. If I can benefit, I can benefit, otherwise not. And Shaykh al-Qadir Jilani, he said that I want to go because I want to benefit from the Shaykh and get from his barakah and get from his madad and get. So they went and they visited the Shaykh. And then he said, I'm not going to, Shaykh al-Qadir said, I'm not going to ask the Shaykh any questions because the Shaykh is busy with his Lord. He's in the company of al-Wahid al-Ahad. He's preoccupied with the remembrance of his Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they came eventually to the door of the Shaykh, and the Shaykh opened up the door, turned to the first person and wanted to ask a very challenging question. The Shaykh said that, you came to test our knowledge on a particular question. The Shaykh made kashf of his heart. And this is the question you want to ask me, and here's your answer. And then the Shaykh said to him, and I don't see, and you'll find the answer in such a book on that page number and so on and so on, and you'll find it there, and this is your answer. And then the Shaykh said to him that I don't see you say that you're going to die as a non-Muslim upon disbelief. And then he said to the second person, as for you, you came to ask me a question, and there was some good thought, but there was also ill thought. I fear for you, this is your question, this is the answer. I fear that you're going to be overcome with dunya. And then he said that to Shaykh al-Qadir Jilani, that you came with husn dhan and a good intention and wanting to receive barakah and blessings. I do not see you except that one day you will make the statement that this foot of mine is upon the neck of all the ulama. meaning you'll be in status higher than the world, obviously. So time and back. And Ibn Saqa, he was an intelligent person. So the king of his community told him, of his country, said that you and a group of scholars, Christian king from a neighboring country wants to have a debate between Muslims and Christians. We're sending you. You're going to represent Muslims, going to debate them. And then he arrived and he saw a Christian girl and he fell in love with the girl and he proposed. And the father said, "There's no way you can get married to my daughter until you become first outwardly he thought he's going to be Muslim inside. And he's just going to show like he's Christian. But eventually, he's man left his heart in Thailand. He died from Christian. The other one got busy with something else in dunya, and as for Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jailani, he reached the point and he said that my foot is upon the neck of everybody. Subhanallah. So the greatest remedy for you and I, Dr. Booth is going to speak about it, to connect with the Salihin, to tread their path, to acknowledge the sicknesses within our hearts, to strive towards remedying our hearts. Shame's policy. La ilaha illallah. Where's Qasim? Bismillah. Allah purify our hearts. Let us acknowledge our faults. Ya Rab calls us to acknowledge our faults, to acknowledge our wrongs, and acknowledge our weaknesses. Ameen, Ya Rab. That's the starting point, Dr. Booth said. Once you acknowledge, now you need to know what the remedy is. If you can't acknowledge, what's the use of the remedy? You have a cold. I say, here's some cold and flu capsules. You say, I'm not sick. And I say, I can see you sneezing and you're coughing and you're a bit warm. I'm not sick. So you're not going to take the medicine if you don't acknowledge you're sick. You say, acknowledge first. And once you acknowledge, now we have all day to acknowledge. Inshallah, go home, acknowledge. Come back tomorrow, say, give it the remedy. Inshallah. Bismillah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Etiquette with the Quran, page 11, page 19. Not disgracing knowledge. It is an emphasized etiquette that the teacher not disgrace the status of knowledge by teaching in a place associated with his student, whether the student is the caliph or a lesser person. Instead, he safeguards knowledge from this, just as the righteous forebearers did.
Did you start now?
Not disgracing knowledge.
We read that. Why are you making noisy? Why are you making
The student's etiquette.
Now,
All of the teacher's etiquette that we have mentioned in and out of itself are the teacher's etiquette also. The student's etiquette includes, moreover, avoiding any concerns that preoccupy him from achieving his objectives, except that which is unavoidable because of necessity. He should purify his heart from any impurity so that it is fit for receiving the Quran, memorizing it and profiting from it. It is rigorously authenticated that the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, in the body there is a morsel. When it is sound, the whole body is sound. And when it is corrupt, the whole body is corrupt. This morsel is the heart. The one who said the following has done well in saying, the heart is made wholesome for knowledge, just as the earth is made wholesome for cultivation. The student should show humility towards his teacher and be well behaved with him, even if the teacher is younger than him, less famous, of lower lineage, less righteous, and so on. He shows humility with regard to knowledge and attains it by means of his humility. Some have said in verse, Knowledge destroys the arrogant youth like the torrent that erodes high ground. The student should be obedient to his teacher, consult him in his affairs, and accept his opinion. An ill person who is rational accepts the opinion of a practice and sincere conviction with religious knowledge. This is even more appropriate. Studying from the best. The student does not study except from someone whose competence is complete. His religiosity visible has achieved marifa and is well known as a person free of debilitating problems. Muhammad ibn Sirin, Malik ibn Anas, and other righteous forebears have said, thus knowledge is religion, so examine well he from whom you take your religion. Respecting the teacher. The student must look to his teacher with the eye of respect, believe in his competence completely and his superiority over his contemporaries, since this makes it more likely that one will benefit from him. One scholar from the early generations would give something in charity whenever he went to his teacher and said, O Allah, cover my teacher's faults from me, and do not take the spiritual blessing of his knowledge away from me. Rabi, the companion of Al-Shafi'i, Allah have mercy on them both, said, I did not venture to drink water while Al-Shafi'i was looking at me out of veneration for him. We relate that the commander of the faithful, Ali ibn Abi Talib, radiallahu anhu, said, the rights the teacher has over you include that you give greetings to people in general, but single him out with greetings to the exclusion of the rest. They include sitting in front of him, not pointing with your hand in his company, not winking your eye at someone, not citing a position contrary to his, not backbiting anyone when in his presence, and they include not conferring with someone sitting near you while in his audience, not grabbing his garment, not being insistent when he has reservations about something, and not being inharmonious such that you become fed up with accompanying him after a length of time. The student should discipline himself with these characteristics that Ali referred to Allah in over his face. Also, the student rebukes any backbiting of his sheikh whenever he is able, and leave that only if he is unable to do so. Entering and exiting the lesson. The student visits his sheikh with most excellent traits. Keep himself tidy with everything we have just mentioned concerning the teacher. Cleanliness, regular use of toothpick, and a heart free of preoccupied matters. He does not enter without taking permission when the sheikh is in a place that requires permission. The student greets the attendees upon entering and then singles out his teacher with his greeting. Likewise, he bids farewell to him and the assembly in general when he departs, just as it is related just as it is related in the hadith. The first greeting is no more deserving than the second. The student does not step over people and sits wherever the assembly's perimeter happens to be, unless the sheikh gives him permission to come forward, or he knows from the behavior of the other students that they prefer it. He does not let someone rise from his place out of preference, and if someone does not give him preference, he declines its slot. Following the example of Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, unless he is coming forward in the welfare of those present, or if the Sheikh requested him to do so. He does not sit in the middle of the circle except out of necessity. He does not sit between two companions except with their permission, and if they make room for him, he sits and squeezes himself in. Sitting during the lesson. This
وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. الإمام النووي رحمه الله تبارك وتعالى continues with the etiquettes now of the student of the passages and sections of the book dedicated to the etiquette of the teacher. And he began by saying that all the etiquette that we related of the teacher also apply to the student. And from the etiquette of a student is that the student should avoid such things that occupy him from being a student. He should avoid such things that occupies him or keeps him busy from being a student. From a So if I want to join a soccer club, that's going to have an impact on my Arabic, my study of the Arabic, or my hifz of the Quran. Stay away from it. The objective is to study Allah's deen. If anything is going to have an impact on your study of Allah's deen, stay away. It's like, no, a child who is struggling with his maths or physics, the parent don't sit the play or a club for the child. The parents say, you can play again, but now it's time to focus on your physics and your math. If you're busy memorizing the Quran, then memorize the Quran. Like some etiquette is obvious. The etiquette of studying deen is to study deen. The etiquette of studying deen or studying hifz is not to be playing soccer and I don't know my work tomorrow. Like they say, from the etiquette of eating is eating. Now, the student should also strive to purify his heart because the more you purify your heart, the more the heart is able to receive, the more the heart is able to memorize, the more the heart is able to preserve. You protect your heart from what? You protect your heart from filth, from sins, from wrongdoings. Because every wrongdoing that I do, every wrong that I look at, that evil enters my heart. And every wrong that I listen to, evil enters my heart, darkness enters my heart. And every haram that I speak, darkness enters my heart. And the more dark it enters my heart, the more my heart becomes weaker. And when the heart is weakened, no matter, it's not surprising that we struggle to memorize. I say it's my old age, but maybe it's not my old age. Maybe my heart just needs to be enlightened. Maybe my heart just needs some nur. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's system in terms of preserving and receiving knowledge and memorizing has not just the strength of your brain and your intellect, it's also to do with the state of your heart. So Allah's system is that when the heart is pure, you memorize it. Doesn't matter how intelligent you are or how intelligent you are not. If the heart is pure, you memorize easier. Um, Al-Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala, his experience in this regard illustrates this point beautifully because he was walking the road one day and his gaze fell on the shin of a strange lady. And then, despite him having a photographic memory, his memory went bad. So he complained to his teacher, Waqi ibn Jarrah. Waqi ibn Jarrah told him that, he said to him, that شكوت إلى وكيل سوء حفظي فأرشدني إلى ترك المعاصي طبعا أتيتم سنة. And that wasn't one sin. Right? That wasn't sin. Because if your gaze fall on the aura of a strange lady and then you look away, that's not sinful. The friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what's not sinful for you is problematic when it comes to them. And therefore the saying says that the bad deeds of those who are close to Allah are good deeds in relation to them. So they say that the good deeds of the pious, or the good deeds of the pious, are actually bad deeds in relation to those who are close to Allah. And because of that, he advised me to abstain from sin because knowledge is an act from Allah and and then he said that the student needs to humble himself. And the teacher, student should have adab with his teacher, even if the teacher is young. Even if the teacher is young, he needs to have adab with the teacher. Even if he comes from a prominent family, the teacher doesn't come from a prominent family. Because it's not the person in front of you. You humble yourself in front of the knowledge that he holds. And you can't humble yourself in front of the teacher because he's younger than you, because he comes from a less prominent family than you. You yourself with the ilm he carries. And the more you humble yourself in front of knowledge, the more knowledge will give itself. And he needs to be obedient to his teacher. And he needs to consult his teacher, his affairs, whether they and when his teacher gives advice, he should accept the advice of his teacher. This is how a sick person accepts the advice of a doctor. Rather, the student accepting the advice of his teacher is more deserving than a sick person accepting the advice of a doctor. This Muhammad, don't listen to him. Make dua for him, inshallah. Inshallah. And yesterday we spoke about etiquette with the teacher. I highlighted the importance of young boys that were studying in kissing the teacher's hands and so forth and so on. The student must believe his teacher to be the best. يعتقد كمال أهليته ورجحانه على طبقته. He needs to believe his teacher to be the best, but he doesn't go around boasting to everyone, I have the best teacher. That's not what's intended. Himself, by himself, privately, he must believe that this is the best teacher. Because that's the only way he's really going to benefit. Outwardly, in terms of the knowledge that he receives, but also spiritually. Some of the pious scholars they used to say, "Oh Allah, cover the faults of my teacher from me. Cover his faults from me so that I don't lose from the barakah of the knowledge that comes from him." Shaykh Ahmad Hendricks, Shaykh Ahmad Hendricks, really, really. Go sit at Darul Uloom madrasas and hear students and hear how they complain about it. That's ridiculous. He said, you know what? I don't recall ever having a bad thought of any of my teachers. Subhanallah. Then Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala, and his advice to students of knowledge was very important. He said, the right of your teacher, of an alim, a scholar, or teacher over you, is that you greet people in a general sense, but you greet your teacher specifically, in a special way. You don't sit in front of him. And like that, you don't turn your back towards him. You don't point to him with your fingers. You don't even say to your teacher, if your teacher expressed a position, that so and so holds a different position. No. If you experience that your teacher wants to rest or is a bit lazy, he says he's a kassil, then don't even be persistent for him to come and teach you. Like you just have adab, that's all. And then he said, وَلَا تُعْرِضْ مِنْ طُولِ صُحْبَتِهِ. Do not turn away, do not get tired from the company of your teacher. And then you say these qualities that Sayyidina Ali said you should have is important for you to have as a sultan. Ya Allah. Allah grant us adab with our teachers. And we previously saw how Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jailani had adab with that Waliullah, and on account of that adab he received such barakah. The Wali said to him that the day will come when you're going to say that my foot is on the neck of all the awliya of my time. Allah grant us tawfiq. Man yunshi. Allahu Akbar. Bismillah, Shaykh. Why make a noise? Hey?
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وشوقا إلى لقياك رسول الله وشوقا إلى لقياك
رسول الله. الله إذا كنت في كل حال فعن حملها من أنا في الغنى والعز لنا بإجابته الله الله الذي لم تزل محسنا فيا ربي صل على صلاة تكون أمانا الله الله فيا ربي صل على المصطفى صلاة تكون فيا ربي صل على المصطفى صلاة تكون رحمة لنا الله الله رب علمنا الذي ينفعنا رب فقهنا وفقه أهلنا وقرابة لنا في ديننا فأهل الكتر أنت وذكر رب وفقنا وما ترتضي فعلا كرما وارزق كل حلالا دائما وآخر الأنبياء علما ونفى كل شر ربنا وأصلح لنا كل الشرور وأخرها بالرضا منك العيون واغفر ربنا كل العيون قبل أن تأتينا رسلنا واغفر سؤالنا أكرم وصلاة الله توفي المصطفى من إلى الحق دعانا الوفاء في كتاب فيه وعلى آل الكرام الشرفاء وعلى صحب المصابيح الكبار اللهم اهدنا بهداك واجعلنا ممن يستمع في رضاك ولا تؤذنا وليا سواك ولا تجعلنا ممن خالف امرك حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم يا ربنا اعترفنا بأننا افترقنا وأننا أسرفنا لا نرضى أشرفنا فتب علينا تغسل كل حكما
واستر لنا العورات وآمن الروعات واغفر لوالدينا ربي والمولودين والأهل والإخوان وسائر الخلان وكل في محبة أو جيرة أو صحبة والمسلمين أجمعين يا ربي اسمع فضلا وجودا منا لا بابتسام منا بالمصطفى الرسول نحظى بكل سور بالمصطفى الرسول نحظى بكل سور بالمصطفى الرسول نحظى بكل سور صلى وسلم ربي عليه عد الحب وآله وصحبه عداد طش صحبي والحمد لله في البدء والنهاية سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين في كل لحظة أبدا عدد خلقي ورضا نفسي وزنة عرشي ومداد كلماتي.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على وعلى اصحاب الفاتحه.